Revival House Network.
And don't like the brags, I don't like the boast. They like hot butter on the breakfast toast. Watching flicks, talking chicks, I like to motorboat. Can Riverman make it, yo, a check? Nope. So look at all these movies I got. Commenting like, should we watch them or not? And I know they just be acting for cash, but I still got one question to ask. Like, why'd he do that, do that, do that? If that was me, I'd be like, screw that, screw that, screw that. I'm an alpha, I'd eat through that, through that, through that. So why'd he do that, do that, do that?
What's up, everybody? RevivalHouse.net. We're doing our very first live commentary.
It's a Christmas miracle. Look how fucking pretty the lights are. Look at the pretty lights. Oh, it's so fucking swell. Oh, the lights are there.
What's hilarious is if you guys are listening to this in audio format, you don't know what the fuck Zach's talking about. But, you know, he kind of alluded to it. You know, we are Behind the Mask, and this is our capping of the December-a-thon. This is our Christmas special marathon commentary.
You're so low energy, Aaron. This is the Christmas special. You're supposed to feel the Holy Spirit in your fucking stomach, pussy. You gotta feel it in your stomach.
I just woke up. I don't know about anybody out there, but I have been dealing with sickness the last couple of days, and I don't know what it is about feeling icky and like the flu and stuff, but it always hits you on the holidays. But I'm here. I'm a trooper. I follow through. We keep the schedule. So we're going to do this. We're doing, like I said, a marathon of Christmas specials. If you're listening to this in audio form, it's going to be segmented into various episodes. This initial episode, we're doing, I think Zach said it's called A Very Bundyful Christmas. Did I get that right?
It's a Bundyful Life. A Bundyful Life.
Bundyful Life. It's the Merry Will Children Christmas special with Sam Kinison. It's a two-parter. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get going. This is our first time doing commentaries live. We do retro rampages and things like that.
It is
live,
live. We did that on our fucking we did Halloween.
What did we do?
Fuck boy.
Oh,
Halloween.
well, I don't count that because we didn't even fucking talk about the movie, man. That was our first time ever doing anything on camera. So I don't know. The Halloween thing was just sort of an excuse to do it. But this is actually, we're going to try and do our normal shtick. I'm going to do my best to answer some questions that come in here, but I'm going to try and see if I can steer the boat towards what's actually playing here. But anyway, this is actually streaming on Hulu for anybody that wants to follow along. Zach, are you ready?
Let's fucking do it. This is one of my favorite eps of Married with Children.
All right. Two-parter. You can find it on season 3. All right. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, play.
Hell yeah. Dun, 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 dun. See, I want to visit that exact fucking shot that happened on. I never got this, what is that, moss growing on the Married logo?
I thought it was slime. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't fit the show. It makes you think, oh, is this a Nickelodeon show? This is gonna be dark.
So, Zach, is this ripped from the DVDs? And if so, I didn't realize they didn't have the licensed Frank Sinatra music on the DVDs.
Yeah, the first season has maybe the first 2 seasons, and then the DVDs, the rest of the seasons just have this shitty fucking song.
Interesting.
Which makes my dick soft, and it doesn't make me want to spurt cum. It's
they got the rights back for the Hulu. It's all restored.
Oh, okay.
Which is neat. I just binge watched the whole series and I finished it, and I didn't realize that it never got a legit series finale. It just sort of abruptly ended.
Yeah, I did. That's not cool. They fucked that up, and they can suck my dank. They really can.
Which is weird because you'd think a show that was running for 11 seasons, you would have thought they would have sort of had an ending in mind, you know, kind of ready for it. But according to Dave Faustino, he said, you know, we expected to go 2 more seasons. We thought we were going to re-up for 2 more, which is crazy to hear. But I guess it was Fox's flagship show, you know, after The Simpsons, and it's the sitcom that launched them as a network. But yeah, the final episode on season 11, it's not even a very good episode. Like, you can start seeing, you know, a shift in quality starting with season 10 and season 11 especially. You know what I mean? Like, there's actually some episodes that aren't very good. Like, for example, there's that episode in season 11 where it's kind of like a spoof on ER for Al's Dodge, and they're trying to resuscitate it. That episode's just filler. It's not good at all. But yeah, the final episode isn't very good. It's just sort of a regular episode. It ain't nothing special, and it's kind of a shame that they ended on that.
How dare you? Every episode of this is basic. They're talking shit about God Emperor Trump in the chat. How dare you guys? That is the God Emperor. He shut down the government. He's there to save us. He's gonna build a wall, and it's gonna be a beautiful wall. You guys are just angry.
We have the good folks that are watching the live chat right now. They seem to be loving your mustache, Zach. Zach's got a fucking creepy porno stash going.
How could you not? See, you mentioned on the last episode we did the fucking Lethal Weapon that one day I'm just gonna fucking show up with a goatee and a shaved head, and it's in the back of my mind. I got to do it someday. Someday when you least expect it, we're gonna fucking I'm gonna hide myself the whole episode. I'm gonna be like, hey, Aaron, I'm not gonna show you my camera until right before we go live, okay? And it's gonna be the day he least expects it, and all of a sudden there I am, the fucking lucha mask and all, and it's gonna be dark.
Our boy William Lowry, who's on here live with us, he makes a good point. He mentions that Joe Bob Briggs had a couple of cameos on some episodes where he played the character of Billy Ray Wetnap. I think he was Kelly's boss when she was like working for that like insecticide company or whatever it was.
Okay,
yeah. A lot of I like to say Revival House alumni as if like they're part of us, but they're not. But we talk about them all the time. Are branched off from this show. We got Joe Bob on here. We got the fucking Weasel. Oh, Feldman guest stars on it.
Mm-hmm.
This show is literally like the Revival House Tree of Life.
Exactly.
So
do you remember the first time you saw this episode?
No, this show's been on.
Actually, I meant to say the first time you saw the show.
No, I mean, this show's been on since 1987. I was born in 1986, so it's basically part of the fabric of my life. It's always been there. So it's been in my memory since as early as I can remember. So I have no clue.
Funny thing, you remember how the show basically wasn't doing too good its first season. It was just plodding along, and then out of nowhere there was a big controversy because some uptight stay-at-home mom fucking saw an episode. It happened to be that episode where Al and what's
Jefferson?
The other one. The first
Steve.
one. Steve. They go to a lingerie store, and it was just a fucking mannequin wearing some risque lingerie. And she called him up. She's like, "How fucking dare you? Kids watch this channel." It's funny, the earliest memory I have watching the show was that episode, actually. My mom was watching it, and I was really young, just watching it with her. She was just laughing at it. See, my parents weren't uptight. That's cool.
Yeah. Adrian Mendoza, he says it's been with him his whole life as well. This show, yeah, like I said, it debuted in 87. So since this show's been around as long as I can remember, it kind of goes toe and toe with what I've always said, Zach. I've said it on the podcast a million times, but I used to think Ed O'Neill also played Freddy Krueger because I was just like 2 and 3 years old, and my earliest memories of seeing this show on Fox were blended with also watching that same TV with the analog knob, watching Freddy's Nightmares too late at night, right? Like all that shit was just kind of blurring together.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of looked like it to me. Like in these, especially in like the first season of Married with Children, Bundy is really skinny, and he legit could have been Freddy Krueger. I mean, look at him. Can't you imagine him with that fucking prosthetic and that hat?
It's funny watching the evolution of the show because it started out still rooted in reality, but Bundy just got more and more cartoony as the show went on. And just more and more like, oh yeah, he's going to be the worst dad on television, but in a funny way. Whenever it's funny, go back and watch it like episode 1. It's like, oh, he's not that out of the realm of reality. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, especially when you watch the pilot, when they're just kind of trying to feel it out. And he's a little too serious in the pilot. Obviously got picked up and they started fleshing him out through the first season. But, at the heart of it, though, just like The Simpsons, which has also been on almost my entire life, it's the same thing. It's a story. It's a show about family. Al Bundy talks shit on his wife. He makes jokes all the time about how he wished Peg would leave her and talks about jokes about death and all this stuff. But he never cheats on Peg. He's had opportunities.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because she's kind of a bitch.
Well, he's had ample opportunity to be unfaithful, but he never does. He always stops himself and reminds whoever it is that's trying to put the moves on him that he's married. And there's even that one episode where they have the day at the beach where he even says he doesn't just turn down the woman and say he's married. He says something to the effect of, you know, he makes a snide comment, a joke, but he also says, you know, I kind of like my family. You know, he actually says something complimentary, which is kind of un-Bundy-like. So it's kind of interesting. Exactly. Oh, yeah. And towards the end, when Kelly's getting married to that one country bumpkin, you know, he takes super offense when he finds out he's a dog. And he kind of has this pedestal-like speech at the wedding where, you know, he butts in. And he basically says something to the effect of how much he does value marriage, you know, as for the sanctity it is, right? Mm-hmm. But of course, while making a joke about it, you know, as miserable it is, you know, it is what it is.
Exactly, and that's what's so fucking dark about the owl.
Yeah, we got Adrian Mendoza. You were asking, speaking of Joe Bob, if we watched the Christmas special. I didn't yet. I still haven't watched the Thanksgiving one, but I think Zach was pretty surprised at the...
Fucking slacker.
You were pretty surprised at the films he chose for the Christmas, didn't you?
Not really. Well, people were talking about it. People were at the Joe Bob driveway mutants fucking group. People were like, I think it's Friday or Phantasm, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess we'll see, babe. People were like, their fucking reasoning for it was pretty fucking thin. They're like, oh yeah, he says the movies don't make a lick of sense on there. It's gotta be Phantasm. I'm like, okay. But they're right. Pretty crazy. I didn't watch it yet either. I watched the first one live, then I had to go to work. And it's funny because I got Monster Vision, old Monster Vision episodes with the movies cut back into them. So I figured, I'll watch, since he didn't get to do Phantasm 2, I'll go ahead and watch the Monster Vision Phantasm 2. And I watched that before we did this. So I'm ready to get going on. He also did the original Phantasm on Monster Vision 2. I watched that also before.
So it's kind of weird, though. I mean, because you just assume that they would be Christmas themed.
Well, he says they are Christmas themed because they have the silver ball, and when you know it, we always got the silver ball right on our Christmas tree. It was right there the whole time. It's always been a Christmas movie.
That's pretty cheap.
That's funny. It's pretty funny. I'm fine with it. I like the Phantasm series fine. It's not a favorite, but they're very European-esque. The original one especially, and then the sequels are more action-packed.
Well, it'll give me an excuse to watch them and get past the first one, which I always found very drab and boring. So, and apparently you say it picks up with 2.
Oh, what a party pooper! Fucking just shitting on the first Phantasm now.
William raises a good question. Christmas is Tuesday. We're recording this on the 23rd. It's Sunday. And he's asking if we got any presents for anyone. Zach, what did you get Mac for Christmas? Did you get him that fleshlight?
No. I didn't get, I didn't get around to getting him anything. I need to, though. I should before it happens. I can do that. That'd be dog.
Yeah, I'm not celebrating Christmas this year. You know, all my family is pretty far and wide. They're not anywhere near.
He's a fucking dirty atheist. He doesn't celebrate the Holy Spirit of days.
That's not true at all. Our latest commentary, which will drop Wednesday, Saving Christmas starring Kirk Cameron, which was my choice, will prove that wrong. Which, by the way, guys, I can't wait for you guys to listen to that. That turned out really fun. That was really cool. And yeah, it's such a shit movie.
That's fucking dark movie. You're gonna love it.
I'll be going home in about 4 or 5 weeks to see my family, so we'll kind of do family time then. Got it organized where all of my brothers are going to go home at the same time, and that's pretty much the impossible. It's never happened before, so. What about you guys? I mean, I don't know. So you didn't get anybody anything, Zach? You didn't get anything for your mom, your niece?
Yeah, I got some stuff for them. Pretty much just money. By the time I got the extra money to buy Christmas, it was too late. because it's just like, now I just have to fucking, nothing's gonna come in the mail before Christmas, and I don't want to wrap shit. I'll just give them money and shit.
You're so lazy, though, dude. You can do it old school. Go to the store and buy your shit. You don't have to mail stuff.
What's the point? That you just risk getting them something they didn't want or something they already have, and they gotta take it back anyway. Just give them fucking money, then they can buy whatever they want.
Yeah, but isn't the fun of it trying to find something that somebody likes?
No, the fun of it isn't presents at all. It's just fucking being home. That's it. And fucking eating shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Giving money's boring. I mean, I know it's easy and it'll please anybody. Me personally, I can make money. That's not a big deal. I'm not like, oh wow, money, great. I get this every 2 weeks for my job. But when somebody gets me something,
I just didn't have the extra money.
When somebody gets me something that they put thought into, man, regardless of what it costs or if it costs anything at all, it just does a little bit more for me. So,
you're a fucking douche. Fuck you.
Yeah, so I'm with you, man. So William, he says on Christmas Eve, he has to work, but only for about 3 hours. Kind of pointless, he says. Same thing, man. I gotta work for just a few hours as well, which is kind of silly because it's interrupting what could be a glorious 4-day holiday. But the same thing applies for next week in the new year. I'm gonna have to pull just a couple of hours on New Year's Eve. I'm like, all right, great, but I ain't complaining, so. William got his best friend the first 2 Evil Deads on DVD, and I got my girlfriend, he says, a scented candle and a coffee mug shaped like a Pokeball. So the friend of yours must not be that good of a friend if you got him the DVD versions. They're releasing, they've released Evil Dead on 4K, and they're putting out Evil Dead 2 on 4K as well, but they're on Blu-ray too. I think you can get the Blu-rays for $5, man. Does he not got a Blu-ray player? What year is this?
Hey, it's the thought that counts, Eric. Stop being such a fucking cut.
You're right. I'm going back on what I was just going off about.
Yeah, you're a fuck up.
That's ridiculous to me. I'm sorry.
You just showed your true colors.
I'm sure his friend doesn't have a Blu-ray. I keep forgetting that most people are normies and they don't really care. Most people are fine with Blu-rays. I'm sorry, DVDs. Most people don't really give a shit about quality. Most people I know watch movies on their PC and it'll be like the shittiest video quality. Like the smallest file, and they don't care as long as they can watch it.
Yeah, they don't give no fuck. They don't even they don't even they just fucking they want Aaron's fucking they give a shit, Aaron. I'm only friends with you to use you anyway. I think that's what everybody that is your friend thinks. See, I'm the Grinch now. Fuck that. I put the Grinch in there too. We can watch that.
No, dude.
You want to go through the list of shit I got in here? This is pretty.
I saw it. Go through the list, but. You can go through the list, but I did see the Grinch in there, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the classic anyway. And there's so much in there, I don't know if we can get through it all, but the Grinch is going straight to the back of the list though, man. Come on.
Oh, fuck, boy. Garfield Christmas is in here, Frosty the Snowman, Charlie Brown Christmas, The Grinch Stole Christmas, Pee-wee's Christmas, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Maybe the chat can decide what we watch.
Well, the chat can decide if they want, but I'm going to let the chat know that I really want to watch Garfield Christmas and I really want to do Pee-wee. So Garfield might be cool to do next. I'm not saying we can't do Grinch, but we're going to push it back. It's not getting priority because this is your choice, Zach. We're doing 2 fucking Bundy episodes. So
it's really only 1, fuck boy.
No, it's like 2, because when you consider Garfield's like 20 minutes long, like these are all very short. You're getting 2 like equivalents.
We could have just skipped part 1. Sam Kinison does you show up till the beginning of part 2.
Well, now you tell us. Now that it's almost over, but it's okay. It's all good. We're having a good time. Adrian's pointing out that I shaved. I did shave, man. I know people listening can't really see that, but I typically have some scruff going on. I did shave a couple of days ago. I feel weird, so I'm growing it back ASAP. So, it'll be short-lived.
And he didn't keep a mustache. What a fuckboy.
I'm the antithesis of what Zach's got going on right now. He's kind of got the David Cross fucking mustache going on from Arrested Development.
Hell yeah.
With them glasses.
Hell yeah. Why would you not want to look like David Cross? Is what I'm saying.
Well, that makes sense. William Lowry, he's saying that his friend does have a PS4 which plays Blu-rays, but he found those copies at a game store for about $3 a piece. So yeah, you got a bargain on them, man. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Especially if he's never seen the movies. I mean, has he seen the Evil Dead movies? Because you don't even know if he likes them yet. So maybe you shouldn't invest too much, right? Makes sense.
Yeah, that's the ultimate test of if he's fit to be your friend too. Because if he doesn't like him, you can just fucking cut ties right away. And he didn't spend too much on the DVDs.
Yeah. William also says that if he had gotten him Army of Darkness, it would have to be the Scream Factory release because it's got the director's cut with the original Apocalypse ending.
It's got all the versions, baby.
You know what's funny though is I like the S-Mart ending the best. It fits the best. You know?
I do too. It's also got the TV version with the extra scenes cut into the movie.
I think the Apocalypse ending is very Sam Raimi, and it's very much kind of like what we got as far as the ending of Ash vs. Evil Dead, the series, but the S-Mart ending fits the best.
Exactly.
I would have liked to have seen the movie that followed that up. You know? Pretty cool. I think the fucking Fistful of Boomstick game followed that up. Is that right?
Maybe.
I think that's what it was. I think it was the direct sequel. Fistful of Boomstick was a direct sequel to Army of Darkness. And I literally, I want to say they maybe even reenacted with the video game cutscene the ending of the third movie. And it's basically kind of like Hell on Earth type of thing. So, yeah, William likes the Apocalypse ending. I like it too. I think it's really cool. And like I said, it's very, very Sam Raimi. I don't not like it. I just think the S-Mart ending works very well. I don't know. I've never watched any commentaries. I'm not sure why they decided against the Apocalypse ending. Zach, do you know why they changed it?
Yeah, I think that's the Sam Raimi wanted, so I don't know why they changed it. Maybe the studio.
I don't know. I wonder if they filmed them at the same time, or if they filmed, let's say, the Apocalypse one, and then it like went to test, and it's like, and it's like, okay, let's go film another one.
Probably.
I wonder if they got them all ready at the same time. I'm not sure. Uncle Al's Christmas Tot Lounge. You leave him, we love him. That sounds perverted.
Exactly.
He's got him tied up. Yeah, like those kids can't break out of that shit.
Hey, don't fucking naysay this show. Fuck you.
Do you have a personal favorite episode? I mean, it's probably not this one. This is just a holiday episode. That's probably why you chose it. But do you have a favorite?
I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I do. I can't think. I really like, it's a later episode. I think the later seasons are funny, don't get me wrong. I just think the consistency drops, right? Like they start having a few misses in there. I like the later episode where Marcy's trying to land the high level job at her Japanese bank and Pat Morita guest stars, and he flies in from Japan and he's at the Jiggly Room and he turns out to be like a chauvinistic pig, and she ends up socking him.
That's dog.
I think it's really funny. He's at the Jiggly Room, and he thinks he sees Marcy on stage, and I don't remember what he says. Like, "Take it off, baby." It's ridiculous.
Zach, you're into necrophilia. Have you seen them film Kissed? I haven't. That sounds dark, though.
He is into necrophilia? It's the first I've heard.
Necrophilia's dark. So yeah, I've been having a good time. Fucking William, he says there are 3 Evil Dead games. Fistful of Boomstick is a sequel to Hail to the King for the PS1, which was a sequel to Army of Darkness. The third one, Regeneration, ignores Army of Darkness. It is a what-if scenario. See, I've heard Regeneration is the best of the series of games, and I've always wanted to play.
Ted Raimi plays the little sidekick in Regeneration. I played Hail to the King on the PlayStation 1 back in the day, and that game is broken as shit. It's so hard. Just the camera angles, they're just rage-inducing. They make the game damn impossible, which sucks because it looks cool aesthetically, and when that came out, there wasn't anything like it. We didn't have any horror movie video games like that, especially to movies that were at the time like 25 years old. It was so fucking weird. And so to be able to play a game set in the woods with a cabin, it was cool. Like, I wanted to like this. I wanted it to be good. And the fact that they legitimized it with Bruce Campbell doing the voices and everything. Yeah, it's just too bad it wasn't in the hands of some competent developers. Now, Fistful of Boomstick I played.
Me too.
And it plays better. But it's just sort of repetitive and boring. It's one of those games that's fun for about 5 minutes, you know? Like, it's fun killing deadites and running around the city streets and stuff and hearing Ash do his one-liners and stuff. It gets old pretty quick, though. It's one of those types of games. But it's a step in the right direction. If the first game had the control mechanics of the second game, we might have something. And I never played the third one.
To be continued. You ready to start part 2 of Buried with Children, baby?
Yeah, so we're going to start part 2, as Zach said. They've got Al tied up in the fucking tinsel or whatever for some reason.
Wow.
All right, we're starting episode 2, part 2 of the Married with Children, A Bundyful Life. This one will actually feature Sam Kinison. How do you feel about Steve versus Jefferson? I don't hate Steve. Jefferson, it was a lot more fun, the dynamic, because it seems like in the early part of the series, you know, the first few seasons, Jefferson and Darcy were very much on a team, and it doesn't feel like Marcy even liked Peg. You know, she's always hated Al. But when Jefferson's introduced into the mix, Marcy seems to be very, very friendly, and they're like best friends, her and Peg. And then him and Jefferson are best friends. So it's almost like the guys versus the girls, you know, and he's like his goon. And I enjoy that dynamic a lot more.
I like them both.
William thinks we should do a commentary on Back to School. Yeah, Sam Kinnison's in that too. Yeah, it's a good movie, man. I'd do it sometime.
That bit dog.
It's funny, man. He's a scene stealer. Last time on Married with Children.
When are we starting it? Did we already start it?
Oh, I already started it, bro.
I thought we were going to count down and shit.
Oh, fuck, you're right. My bad. That's my fault, guys. All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
A fuck up. What a fuck. Aaron's a fuck up.
Everybody viewing the live one gets to see all the bloopers and shit. You guys get everything. This is going to be obviously edited for everybody else, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, Adrian's saying he went to a screening of Army of Darkness last year, and that Tam Raimi was in attendance, and he was doing a Q&A, which he does those sometimes. So does Bruce Campbell. And he was saying he's a wacky guy. He is a wacky guy. I've seen Bruce and Ted. They do a lot of cons together, and when they're at the same cons, they'll always have their booths right next to each other, and they'll usually do like Q&As together. And they're actually really funny when they're, you know, put together as a duo. They're really funny. They got really good chemistry. But whenever you see Bruce Campbell and Ted Raimi at a convention together, and they're always sitting next to each other because they're old pals, why wouldn't they? You'll notice the line for Bruce Campbell's massive, and like nobody's at Ted Raimi. Like nobody. I did, dude. Last time Riverman and I were at this convention, the same convention we'll be attending here this July, and yeah, it's like the line for. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't. He was at. It was Wizard World. My bad. But anyway, it was a massive line for Bruce Campbell and Ted Raimi. We just walked up to him. We're shooting the shit with him, you know, while 2 feet away from him. Ash was just busy as shit. So.
Now we're seeing last time on Married with Children. It's a good thing they were going to let us know because I wasn't paying attention the first time.
Yeah.
But I remember, he gets, he has to stay long at work and shit, and then he comes home, and this is where they start the whole, this is the wonderful life, they're making fun of that movie. And, I always, what do you think of It's a Wonderful Life?
It's all right. It's a Christmas staple. It's one of those movies that they've obviously played it to death every single holiday season, every year of my life. So I've seen it on like a million times, and I've seen parts of it a million times, but I've never actually sat down and watched it front to back. Right? It's because it's always on.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, oh man, I want to see a version of this where, everybody's lives are better without him. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Adrian Mendoza saying that you can watch Married with Children episodes on dailymotion.com. Not even sure what that is, but it's on Hulu too right now. If anybody pays for Hulu, if you don't, I guess you can watch on Dailymotion.
I think Dailymotion is like YouTube, isn't it? You just upload whatever you want, maybe.
I'm not sure, man.
I might be wrong.
William's rubbing in my face that Ted's also in the movie Shocker, which is a piece of shit.
How dare you hate Shocker? That's the best fucking sex move ever.
So, I don't know. Are you getting anything for Christmas, Zach?
Probably for my sister or something. I don't know.
Do you have, well, you said your sister goes through your Amazon wish list. Do you have any idea what she might get you?
No, I got tons of shit in there.
Is it expensive shit?
I don't know.
Are you a materialistic diva?
Sure, yeah.
I'm not getting anything. I don't know. Ever since my dad passed away, man, we just don't really celebrate Christmas anymore. So it's just kind of another thing, another day. Well, I know. Adrian's saying I should watch It's a Wonderful Life, and it's very depressing. I know, man. See, the thing is I know the movie. I know exactly what happens in the film. It's just, I've seen the whole movie combined, like throughout the years. I've seen the whole movie. I've just never sat down and watched it in a single sitting. I've seen A Christmas Story, but it would be the equivalent to A Christmas Story. Even if I hadn't actually sat down and watched it front to back, I've caught every piece of A Christmas Story as well, like over the years.
So everybody, you don't know this, but on our last episode that we did that'll come out Wednesday, I pissed at this right here, and it's still sitting on my desk. So I was thinking that'd be dog if I drank it right now. How much will you give me? How much will you give me, Aaron, to drink my piss?
I'll give you your freedom, man. You can be relinquished of your duties on this podcast if you drink all that piss.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. That'd be dog, though, if we did.
Why don't you throw that shit away, dude? What the fuck's the matter with you?
I don't know. I forgot I was even here. That's dog.
My brother, I don't know if Adrian's request that you send him that bottle of urine. We need to put it on eBay. Holy shit. I don't know. Adrian, you are arguably the number one original fan. You arguably the number one fan. I mean, it's debatable, but maybe he deserves it. Merry Christmas, Zach.
Use it to fucking stage killing and leave my DNA at the scene of the crime.
He wants to pour your piss and mix it with some of his blood and semen and squish it between two sheets of plexiglass to make some modern art.
That'd be dog.
Yeah. It's been done before. But I don't know. Zach, is a Merry Christmas in order for Adrian the Omega?
I don't know. They even let me send that?
Who would fucking stop you, man? You know what? That's a lot of piss. I saw the size of that bottle. You could actually spread the joy. You know, you could give it to you could spread it out like the 10 best listeners or something.
Hell yeah.
That's weird. Hold on. So William says he is getting something for Christmas. He doesn't know what it is since his dad's out of town till Tuesday, and he's going out of town when he gets back to see his mom. Okay, so you got a busy holiday ahead of you, man. So do you know what your pop's getting you, man? Let's see. Oh, and he makes a good point, too. Well, I don't really know how this would work, but he's asking, but what if it accidentally creates a bizarro clone of Zach instead? Oh, the plexiglass thing? Well, it wouldn't be a clone because it involves the Omega semen and blood. So I think it would have most of the Omega's traits, but it would just reek of Zach's piss. He'd be a smelly Omega clone.
Hell yeah.
And Adrian requests to see your dick. That's what he just said verbatim. Not verbatim, because he said wang. But I don't know, man. It just all depends on how loose Zach gets and how festive he's feeling by the end of this marathon. So it ain't that hard to get in his pants.
Exactly. It's Doc. You know what's funny is I took a shower before we did this, and I ate some fucking dog ass pizza, and I feel tired now. Like it's just like Christmas morning. I just feel like
that's what's gonna happen, man. When you're not eating that food anymore, you know, because you're eating clean most of the time, right? Because, you know, you look fantastic, man. You're on that fucking Ann Nicole Smith trim spa diet, right? So when you eat pizza, when you've been off that shit for a while, it makes you feel like total shit. Like your body reminds you of what it used to feel like. And you just, it's a rude awakening. You're like, oh, and you feel like shit. I get like that too, man.
7 minutes into the episode, there's Sam Kinison for the first time.
Yeah, so we get Sam Kinison for 10 minutes of the entire two-parter, maybe?
15 minutes.
William, yeah, what's your current weight, Zach? That's what William's asking. You fucking you smashed your goal.
Yeah, it might have since weight like fluctuates so much, it's like a week after I did that, and then I started eating more calories to maintain the weight. I remember looking at it, I was at 200 exactly. But like before that, like throughout the week, I'd get on there and it'd say like 205. The weight is it pisses me off. It just like I could have gained 5 pounds in fucking a day. How's that work?
Well, a lot of that's water weight. A lot of that's why they suggest that don't weigh yourself every day if you're trying to lose weight. You weigh yourself periodically, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is you want to do. But when you do weigh yourself, make sure it's at the same time. Like, preferably kind of the go-to is weighing yourself early in the morning once you've released your fucking bowels, you know, because a lot of that stuff's water weight. If you weigh yourself in the morning on an empty stomach and all that shit, and then you go and you weigh yourself the next week in the middle of the afternoon after you've had lunch and, you know, and all that stuff, and you're drinking water and stuff, it's there's so many different factors at play. Case in point too, if you were to wake up and you're in a fasted state and you weigh yourself, okay, great. Now you weigh yourself. After that, though, while still in a fasted state, you haven't ate or drank anything, you decide to do your cardio. Some people like to do their fitness shit still in a fasted state. You could go for a 5-mile run, still in that fasted state, come back and weigh yourself again, and your body's weight will fluctuate again. It's just really, really weird. So,
yeah, we need fucking weight like scales. It's hard to get ones that are fucking accurate completely. You want the fucking accuratistic one.
Yeah. I mean, but at least the important thing is to use the same scale that you're using. You know, keep that part consistent. So, and always make sure that you're recalibrating that scale too, because if you don't do that from time to time, it'll get fucked up. So make sure you're, you know, tapping your foot and pressing on it, one foot to zero it out. And you know, that could be an issue too. I've been there where it's like, what the fuck? Where'd that 5 pounds come from? And then I recalibrated and I actually was like under. So, and you're pretty tall, man. So like the weight that you're hovering around is probably really pretty good. I'm only 5'10", you know, I'm kind of the high end of average. At least that's what I tell myself to make myself feel better. So,
if you ever write an autobiography, that should be the title of it.
The high end of average?
Yeah.
It does have a good ring to it, doesn't it? It's like an optimist half. It's weird. It's like a negative optimism. It's kind of weird. So, how tall are you, Zach? 6'1"?
6'3".
See, Zach, you're fucking 6'3"?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
I've told you that 8 times, baby.
So you got 5 inches on me?
Mm-hmm. I guess.
That's fucking crazy, man. So you're like an entire foot taller than fucking Mac?
A foot by the foot.
You tower over him, man. See, that's crazy. So Zach being around 200 pounds or whatever, give or take, at 6'3", you're probably just dandy, man. I'm like, I weighed in at 187 last week, and I'm 5'10", and I'm just fine. So that's just crazy to me. William keeps his weight between 165 and 170. There you go. I shoot for the 185, 190, something like that.
You got the hernia, A-Rod?
No, I don't have a hernia. One time I thought I had a hernia, though. Turns out I just tore some abdomen tissue, but it wasn't actually herniated. And it was really painful. I had my legs elevated for a week on a big pile of laundry on my bed. And I remember I had bought concert tickets for myself and my parents and my brother as a Christmas gift earlier in the year. And the show was during that week where I was in just horrific pain. So I still wanted to go because I was a stubborn fucking young adolescent adult or whatever. And I went to the show and I was in so much pain sitting down. It hurt so bad, but I drove and I picked him up and we went to the gig. And my mom and dad smoked copious amounts of pot and drank a lot of booze.
Cool.
Yeah, they did. And I had to take them home because I was the designated driver, and I dropped them off. They lived about 45 minutes away from where I did. And so to drive back home, I had to, commute down this very dark, lonely highway at like 2 a.m.
What was the concert?
It was Down, Philip Anselmo, the singer of Pantera, and that was one of his bands. He was playing some smoky bar. It was really cool. But anyway, driving down this lone dark highway at 2 a.m, which is basically just a cop trap, no lights or anything. I'm driving and I'm in serious pain. There's nobody on the road, and I seriously need to readjust because I'm hurting bad. And I'm like, all right, nobody's on this road. I'm gonna readjust. It's okay if I swerve a little bit. So I start doing it to try and get myself comfortable because I'm in agony. I swerve, and the second I do that, man, a cop is hiding in the shadows, and he pulls me over. And him and his partner do the bad cop routine. And they knock on my window, and I roll it down. I give them my information, and they're like, so we saw you swerving back there, son. You had a lot to drink tonight? And I'm like, oh, no, I don't drink, I swear. He's like, oh yeah? He's like, well, you smell like booze. I was like, where you been? I'm like, oh, well. He's like, you been partying? I'm like, no, I don't party. I really don't. He's like, yeah, you smell like marijuana. I'm like, I had a bad excuse for everything. And I'm like, well, okay, I can explain that too, officer. I was driving my parents home as a designated driver, being responsible because they were out and they were drinking and they were at like a show where I think maybe something like that was going on. And and I was like, I swear though, officer, I don't drink and I've never had a drop in my life. And then he takes his flashlight. He's like, oh yeah? Well then what's that? And then he shines the light in the back floorboard, and there's fucking empty booze bottles, open containers back there. My mom had snuck containers of booze in my car while I stopped for gas. She had went into an adjacent gas station and bought liquor because she was loaded, and she was fucking getting lit in my car on the way home, and she was just throwing the shit in the back floorboard. And then as soon as he said that, I felt like Jim Carrey. Oh, that's nothing, sir. It was literally like that. He's like, get out of the car. And they had me get out of the car doing the breathalyzer test. I passed all the tests, but I tried telling them too. I was like, I said the swerving officer was because my abdomen, I explained the injury I had. And I said, I didn't really realize I was doing anything wrong. I'm in a lot of pain. I didn't want my parents to drive home drunk. Anyway, it's just one of those things. And so when they were having me do the test, I said, I'm in a lot of pain. If I fuck up this walk in a straight line thing, I swear it's not because I'm drunk. Anyway, sure enough, I think I failed that part. But I'm like, I told you, man. I've got a fucking, at the time I thought it was a hernia and I was in pain. But then I did the breathalyzer and I passed it. But that did not stop them from tearing apart my car, man, because they smelled the marijuana and I had the booze containers in there. So they just fucking ripped apart my trunk. This is Jefferson's first appearance, by the way. Sorry I interrupted the story. But it's not. He's not playing Jefferson. It's Ted McGinley. Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life alternate reality. Anyway, they tore apart my car, the trunk, threw everything in the middle of the fucking streets, man. I was like, is this necessary, guys? And then at the time, I was working in culinary, and I had some measuring spoons that I kept on me at all times. If you're a chef, man, you keep measuring spoons on you like your car keys. It's just something.
Is this what you use to shoot your heroin?
That's exactly what they did. They fucking found that shit in my dash. Like, yeah, what's this for, man? Is this where you keep your drugs? This what you use for your drugs?
They didn't give a fuck that you were clean. They're like, we got a fucking money to make. We gotta put you in jail, bitch.
I'm like, yeah, because I really want to make sure I'm getting a teaspoon of heroin. And did you know there's 3 teaspoons and a full tablespoon of heroin, sir? Like, it made no sense. It was so stupid. But anyway, I was clean and all that shit up. And after they wrecked my car, and that my shit was like thrown out on the side of the road, they literally said, all right, here's your ticket. I had to go to court. And they were just assholes. They're like, yeah, get rid of those fucking booze bottles. I'm like, you're just going to let me drive off with more booze containers, and you just threw my shit all over the road. You're not going to help me clean it up. I've explained to you, like, I'm clean. Like, can you at least take the containers from me so I don't get stopped again by you assholes? Because it was like cop trap alley. But yeah, so I went to court. And the judge was really nice. I explained the situation to him, and I just kind of got put on probation for a whole year. I couldn't so much as get a speeding ticket, or I'd, get the charges on me. And
I wouldn't even given you that. That's retarded.
And that was tough because I worked like 2 counties over, so I had to commute down this long highway. I had to cross 3 counties, and I had to drive primarily through this county every day on a highway. So I'm like, fuck, I was walking on eggshells every day for the next year. So I was real lucky. So Yeah. Adrian saying my parents sound great. You know, my mom is wonderful. She had problems though. She wasn't the perfect mom, but she's, you know, I do love my mom. My dad was fucked up. He was a bit of an enabler. So, and what's funny is, you know, you try and tell your parents this, like, oh, hey guys, I saw I got a court date, you know, and I got fucking frisked and the whole deal, and my car was fucking trash because of what you guys did. It's like, I'm not, who's the kid in this relationship? I'm the child. You guys are the parents, right?
Yeah.
And they don't even say, my dad just kind of laughed. Like, you're a fucking asshole, man. Just because you got a record, man, doesn't mean I want a record. He was, I'm getting fucking pissed thinking about it.
That's dog. That's fucking dog. You should have just said, hey, yeah, we're going to drive to my parents' house. You get the cop cars. You're going to drive to your parents' house. And I tell you, they're drunk and high. And it's going to be dog. The party's going to be lit. We're going to hang out at their house.
It's like, and I could have been like, hey, my dad, I swear, if you let me go, I'll help you get the big fish. He's growing shit tons of pot in his closet right now. And he was.
That would have been cool, man. That would have been cool. You could have pulled down his whole operation. That could have affected me. I might have been buying from your dad.
Dude, I remember being in like middle school, and my dad just didn't give a fuck because in his bedroom window, it's sitting in the windowsill. You could see it from the backyard and from outside, and we didn't have a fence in our backyard, so it was pretty open for the whole neighborhood to see. It's a pretty big backyard. You could see in my dad's bedroom window from the outside his line of bongs sitting in the windowsill. And I don't know. Yeah, it's like all the kids, man, wanted to come into my house, man. They would always beg me, hey, man, score some of your dad's pot. We know he fucking smokes, man. Look at all them bongs. I'm like, that's just decorations, man.
Did you ever do it?
Yeah, I did. I succumbed to the peer pressure one time with one of my best friends, and that was a big mistake. I was like, yeah, man, I'll get you a little bit. I don't really care. I think he gave me, don't judge me, William. I was a little kid. He gave me a dirty magazine in trade. I feel the judgment.
Did your dad find out?
So what's funny is I thought I could go in there and just take a little bit. Like, okay, if I just take a little bit, he'll never notice a little bit, right? And so I gave my friend a little bit. And that was bad because my friend, guess what he did? He fucking goes and tells other people that aren't my friends. And now I got all these riffraff fucking kids coming to my house thinking I can get them fucking weed. And, you know, it just kind of became this big fucking uncontrollable critter ball that was getting bigger and bigger and out of control. And then, but yeah, so I'd be like, hey man, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. You got to get the fuck out of here. But of course, man, some hot ass chicks would show up. I'm like, damn it, I can't say no to you. And so I'd like give them a little bit. Anyway, it got out of control, and he'll never notice a little bit. Well, a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit adds up. And another thing too on that note, and he'll never notice a little bit's missing. You know who notices a little bit of something is missing? A fucking drug addict. They weigh that shit out. Like, they know what's stuff. Anyway, I was thinking I was getting away with it for so long, man. And in hindsight, I also realized I was giving a lot of these stupid kids the stems. Fucking idiots. But anyway, got away with it for a long time. And like I said, my one buddy, he was giving me like dirty magazines that were in his dad's collection, whatever, in exchange for weed. I was like, all right, cool, man. I'd give him a little bit of weed, and the next day I'd come home from school, I'd get off the bus, and it was like Santa Claus. He'd leave a dirty magazine underneath the gutter, like that was on the ground where the gutter like flowed out. And I'd go and I'd lift it up, and he would have left me one there. Like, all right. Like, this one's the Playboy Christmas Jenny McCarthy issue where she's dressed as Mrs. Claus. Great. Anyway, like, I remember I'd built up this collection, and I used to put all these dirty magazines in my PlayStation 1 box in my closet. Like, no one's ever going to look in there, you know? And side note, I remember one day, this is back in the days, this is kind of TMI. I didn't even know how to fucking jerk off, though. It was one of those things where the mind was ready and willing, but the body was not. It's like I wanted to, and I didn't know why I couldn't do it. And I remember one night I pulled out that PlayStation 1 box, I locked my room door, and I pulled out, I think it was like a copy of Club magazine, which is a real fucking sleazy 70s porno mag, man. Lots of bush and just real hardcore. And I'm not proud of this stuff, by the way. I was just a kid. But anyway, I took a 3-liter bottle of soda. A 3-liter bottle of soda, the kind of shit you could buy at like a warehouse type grocery store with a really big rim because it's 3 liter. And I dumped out that fucking soda pop, and I took it in my room, and I fucking lubricated the edges of that with a little bit of hair shampoo conditioner, and I stuck my cock in it, and I was trying to fuck the bottle, man. I'm like, all right, maybe this'll work.
That's donk.
And it didn't work, man. I was just a fucking idiot kid with my dick in a fucking 3-liter bottle humping it on the ground. I'm like, this ain't working at all. Is there something wrong with me? And anyway, that was sort of a detour. But I had this collection of magazines, like I said, that came from the exchange of giving away my dad's weed, thinking I'm all slick and stuff and getting away with it. One day I come home from school, just like normal. I open up the front door. And as soon as I hit the entryway, I don't see anybody. I just hear a loud booming voice. That is my father. And he just goes, sit down in the living room and don't move. I'm like, holy shit. It was like the voice of God.
And then he comes in with a bunch of fucking doobie stacks. He's like, you finally got some of my weed. Let's smoke together, son. Let's blaze it.
Listen to me. It was like the voice of God, or more like Satan, like thundering. And I'm like, oh my God. So I, crept up the little stairs because it was a split level home. And I sit in the chair and I'm just scared because the voice came from the hallway towards where my room was. I didn't know what was going on. I really didn't know. And then he tells me, get in here. And I walk down the hallway.
Like fucking Scorpion. The fucking thing just comes out, grabs you, pulls you towards him.
Listen, I walk down the hallway and I go into my room and my mom and dad are in there. And then what I see is that PlayStation 1 box ripped apart and just fucking nudie magazines spread all over my room, open to the centerfolds and all kinds of shit. And there's like drawings all over them. What had happened is my little sister at the time, who was like 1 year old, she was all addicted. You know how little kids get into that mode where they get their hands on a pen or a crayon, they're gonna draw on the walls, or they're gonna find anything to draw on. And she liked to draw puppy dogs, which, of course, being 1 year old, they look like little insects. They don't look like puppy dogs at all. But she called them Bubbas. And my dad just goes, it's so interesting that how creative your sister could get when she needs something to draw her fucking Bubbas on. And so I'm looking at all this smut, dude. It's not even Playboy. It is smutty as smut. And it's all just fucking all open-faced. And I have a feeling my dad exaggerated and he laid that shit out to make it look extra like bad, and embarrassing and humiliating. And yeah, my little sister had left her fucking stamp of her shitty drawn ant people dogs all over these fucking porno snatches and shit all over the pages of this. And it was really humiliating. And I remember I was super embarrassed, and I was like, after they just, I didn't know what the point of this was, because for once in my life, my dad didn't punish me, because he used to just fucking beat the shit out of me for no reason. But maybe something like this in hindsight, it was just natural. Like, he's probably happy I wasn't gay and I was into girls or whatever. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But guys are weird. But anyway, so I'm real humiliated. And I just kind of go under my breath, Mom, can I go out and play? Because I wanted to get out of the house like fast. I just want to get as far away from that fucking house as possible. And my mom just goes, yes. And I fucking run out the house. And then as I'm going out the front door, my dad yells, oh yeah, and stop fucking stealing my weed. Like, oh shit. I run out the door. I swear I ran 2 miles away. I'm like, I remember I never ran so hard in my life as a kid. I'm like, I'm going to the next neighborhood over.
Dude, that was probably the coolest you ever were in your dad's book too. That's what's funny.
It was fucking hilarious, man. But anyway, yeah, the end where he said that, I'm like, holy shit, he knew the whole time I was stealing his weed. Like, my dad was not. I was thinking my dad was fucking stupid, because I had also been taking their alcohol and giving it to some friends, right? And here, the thing is my mom, I love her to death, but she is kind of oblivious. But my dad had to have known. I used to take their tequila. It wasn't like vodka. I used to take tequila and I used to like pour it in cups or whatever and give a little bit to my friends, and I'd replace it with water. Maybe an alcoholic like my mom wouldn't notice that her tequila bottle over time was nothing but water, because she's not even tasting what she's drinking at that point. But my dad, there's no way he didn't know. So, and I never really got any resolution on that. I should talk to my mom someday and be like, hey, you knew, right? You knew that was me? Well, we're even for that DUI shit.
Fucking Pee-wee. We're ready for Pee-wee if you want to start that one up.
Oh fuck, man! When did this episode end?
Like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, perfect timing.
I didn't want to start the next one while you're still telling the episode because we want the ending of that story to be on the fucking commentary version, baby.
That's so funny. Let me answer these questions real quick and then we'll move on. So, holy shit, I had a wild childhood. That's what William says. I did, man. And Adrian was asking how old I was.
It was a fucking dog childhood.
Dude, that particular story with the nudie magazines, oh gosh, I was probably maybe 12. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to jump right into our next one. We're going to do Garfield's Christmas special. So
Garfield?
Yeah, man. Let's do Garfield next. Why, are you against that?
I had Pee-wee loaded up.
No, man, let's do Garfield next. Because that'll just kind of cleanse the palate a little bit.
End of the week at the Revival House. Next month's theme, you gotta figure it out. Italian zombies or Pauly Shore. A slasher with a knife and the girl next door. And 1 second in, get it all queued up and ready, hit play in 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye puppet, Zach Pete and a solo cut band. Couldn't miss Cameron's love and Josh's Scott Field and Riverman's babe. Bye-bye puppets. Sounds good, like this country used to. Revival House, 2019, y'all. That sounds like fire, like this country used to.